Okay, so this is how I did the Monarch logo. And it was pretty simple. I just downloaded the logo off of something from the internet, and then I brought it into Blender and dropped in a box and turned it into a rectangle. And you just see, I just traced it. That's really all there is to it. Long straightaways, you need less vertices. Short curvy parts, you need more. And you just want to leave yourself enough so that when I subsurf it later, that it smooths out. You know, you just want to make sure you have enough in there so that everything goes nice and smooth. And it's not hard. It's just kind of slow and tedious. There's really only one way to do this. Well, I mean, there's other ways to do it, but you just got to do it. And here we come into the last leg. Got to create a little extra vertices for that corner. And now we just go down. You just adjust it until it goes down. And what I did here is I just copied, flipped it, brought it back into place. I joined it with J, then created faces. I did a few loop cuts there to do the separate parts of the crown. And just continue tracing. This really isn't that hard. It's pretty simple stuff. It's surprising what you can do with just basic box modeling. The only tricky bit in this is the eyes. Right now, when I saw it, I first thought, am I going to model in the eyes? And I could have done that. But, I don't know. Honestly, it seems a little bit of a pain. So eventually what I decided to do was just model it flat. I create cutters, and later I just cut them out at the end of the sculpt when I'm ready to join everything together. Oh, and here I'm creating the ring that goes around it. I used a cylinder, cut off the top and bottom faces, extruded it in. Oh, and I throw a few extra loop cuts around the edges to maintain the sharpness when it's subsurfed. Otherwise, everything gets too soft. You know, I like nice flat tops, and I don't want too much of a curve and things like these. So you create a few extra loop cuts on the edges. And there you go. There's one eye, and then I pretty much just copy and flip it. You know, you want things to look symmetrical, so. Okay, and I put it underneath Dr. Girlfriend, and now I'm going to start setting up the base. And I just went with a real simple base. I like to make my bases hollow because I like them to have some weight. So I put some sand in there usually. And here's how Dr. Girlfriend hovers in midair. I just used another cylinder, cut away the top and bottom faces, extruded it in, and made this little C-shaped thing here. You'll see I'll make some like smaller pegs that go into her back and into the base. Later on, somewhere in this, I even put a little cube inside the base because I didn't want the thing that goes into the base to go through it and create a hole. So, you know, whatever sand I put in there would fall out. So what I first did was I put in the cube, I Boolean joined that to the base, and then I cut out the space for the C. That's coming up in a few minutes, I think. Most of it is real simple stuff. You'd be surprised what you get away with. And just basic box modeling. I mean, you don't really need to get fancy with things. Okay, here I think I'm about to add some thickness to the base, you know, like an inside. Here I just want to measure the thickness of it. You know, I don't waste too much resin making a half-inch thick base. It doesn't need to anywhere near that thick. It's just going to sit on a shelf. So 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters thick, it's more than plenty. Right, I've been using the ABS-like resin. It's probably overkill for a lot of the stuff I do, but it works well. So I've been sticking with it. And there you go, there's the base. Now I copy the outer ring, just bring it down and use that to create the lid for the base. And that's it. There you go. There's your base. Easy peasy. I think what I'm about to do here is that I'm going to create the cutters for that little C shape. And all I really do is copy the ends of the C shape and separate them, and then go in there and enlarge them just a little bit. I'm having a little trouble getting used to the tolerances in resin. They're a lot. You don't need as much space as you do with filament printing. Right? Filament printing, you need a lot of extra space because I don't know. I find with my machines, um, I need extra space. But with resin, it's tight. So it's a lot. You know, and I like these parts that fit in nice and neat. Okay, and I will have another in-depth video on Dr. Girlfriend tomorrow. You know the drill, like and follow and all that stuff. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, thanks.